Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market update for Chainlink. I'm going to cover specifically what I want to see to get longer term bullish, some important levels of support and resistance to keep an eye on, and also we're going to be looking at some custom charts as well as the Bitcoin ratio. So if you guys enjoy the content, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also, by the way, this channel is sponsored by the cryptocurrency exchange FTX.us. This is a great place where you can buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies like Chainlink, and if you sign up with my link in the description below or through my referral code SNOWYCRYPTO, you can get a 5% discount on exchange fees. So it is a great exchange. Go check them out. All right, so let's dive into Chainlink here. I'm going to start off here on the weekly. So first, I do want to talk about these two moving averages here. The red one is going to be the 20 SMA, and then the green one is the 21 EMA. And I talked about these in the last video, how basically we've been holding resistance off of these moving averages ever since we fell below them back in November of 2021. So you can see this rejection right here in December, another rejection right here in April, and then that's currently where this lower high has formed. So it is definitely something that you should be keeping an eye on, and longer term, this is a level that I do want to see Chainlink reclaim and then flipped into support. And if we just go all the way back here to Q4 of 2020, you can see the benefit of being above these moving averages. Basically, this is where the buyers were stepping in. This is where the demand was. And basically what Chainlink did was it held these as support for months and months and months, consolidated at this level, and then eventually we had a new run to all-time highs. And this was the level that held as support. We didn't go below this on a candle closing basis, and eventually we did trend back up to new all-time highs. So again, that is one of the benefits of being above these moving averages, and it's something that would really start to shift the favor into the bulls longer term for me. So that is going to be the key level of resistance. Now let's talk about the support. So if this move is starting to play out similar to the previous rejections, then that could entail for Chainlink a lower low. You can see that basically following this rejection, we came back down and then we formed a lower low again after that rejection and then continuing that downtrend. So if something like that were to be playing out, if a similar pattern were to be playing out, what could we look to as our key level of support? And for me, it's going to be this $4.60 region. And this is because basically this was the level that we held as resistance in 2019. After a pretty impressive rally, this is where we turned around, started to consolidate. This was a level of rejection in both June of 2019 and then later on here in February of 2020. And then notice how actually when we did break out above this, Chainlink had a 54% candle to the upside the next following week. So a very positive reaction by the market following this breakout. So I would expect this to be strong support in the event that we're continuing lower and then retesting this area. Now, there's no certainty that we actually do retest this level, but if we do, this is the level that I would expect buyers in demand to start stepping in. And ultimately, this is an area where I would expect to be a pretty good opportunity to accumulate, and overall it would be a very strong level of support. So now let's talk about the indicator at the bottom here. And basically what this is going to be doing is it's going to be plotting the Chainlink closing price color-coded based on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is above the 20-week simple moving average, it's going to plot it in green. If it's below it, then it's going to plot it in red. And that's basically what determines the color-coded price. And I just want to use this as some sort of example of why it's very important to look at Bitcoin itself when we're analyzing these altcoins. So if I zoom out here all the way, I think there's a pretty key takeaway here, and that basically every single big uptrend, every single big leg up for Chainlink was in the green. That basically represents that whenever Bitcoin was above the 20-week moving average, then Chainlink was doing well. And ever since Bitcoin has lost the 20-week moving average, and this has been plotting closing prices in red, Chainlink has been in a downtrend. And it's pretty simple to assume that correlation with Bitcoin, but it's something that we don't often look at. And what we want to see for Chainlink, and as well as many other altcoins, is for Bitcoin to simply start being a little bit more bullish, for Bitcoin to actually reclaim its 20-week moving average. So again, something to add to your watch list, something to be looking at for is if Bitcoin can start reclaiming its own 20-week moving average, and then maybe that can start to help altcoins out, including Chainlink, start to reclaim their own support levels and resistance levels. And longer term, that is something that we have yet to see. We're still in this red territory. Bitcoin is still well below its 20-week moving average, and this is just something that we have to deal with the altcoins because they are influenced and correlated to Bitcoin. All right, so lastly, I'm going to be talking about the Chainlink Bitcoin ratio. I've covered this a lot in the previous videos. Basically, we've been in this longer term downtrend ever since the DeFi summer peak of 2020. And this is something that we don't want to see. We want to see this eventually reverse, where we're not just forming these macro lower highs at some sort of lower valuation, because what this means is that Chainlink is underperforming Bitcoin. And if you had just invested in Bitcoin, then you would have done better than if you invested in Chainlink. And this just shows you how it does have a high opportunity cost. So again, this is longer term, something that we do want to see reverse. We want to see this start to outperform Bitcoin. And basically, one of the things that could start to convince me that we do have a reversal is if we can actually get back above this level and reclaim it and then flip it into support. Now, this is going to be very key resistance, because basically what we did was we rejected off this level all the way back in 2019 a few times. We flipped it into support in 2020, bounced off of it several more times, and currently we're below this. So longer term, I do want to see Chainlink get back above this area. And if we can actually definitively and convincingly break above this, flip it into support, then longer term, I do believe that is going to be a lot more convincing that we might have a trend reversal, which is again something that I want to see and something that would bring a lot more strength into the Chainlink USD pair. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. Once again, check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.